All right, we back. Hindsight pregame.
I didn't know we were doing a pregame.
We about to go see everything all at once together at the same time. I don't even know if that's the name of the movie, but it's something like that. I'll be able to tell you what it is after.
Everything everywhere all at once.
So, I watched the trailer. Yeah, that's mine. Them, whoever.
If y'all, any else seen Army Knife Man, Swiss Army Man, with Daniel Radcliffe, really good movie in my opinion.
He's getting too deep with it. So, I saw the trailer. I don't know what to expect, and
I'm very excited.
I'm also very excited. This looks like a good one.
Asian cast.
I like Asian people. Everybody know I like Asian people. So this is going to be lit.
A lot of good action is what I'm anticipating. Let's do this. We've never done this before, but what's your prediction of the score that you would give it?
I'm about to give it I'm going to give it a
prediction section.
10.
Wow.
Now we're going to see that.
You're setting the bar high, man. I was going to say something high like that. I guess I'll go 9.
All right, we're going to see. We're tapping soon. We'll be back. And we back. It's hindsight. I actually don't even know what episode this is, but we just saw.
13.
Hold up. What's it called? It's called.
You got to know.
Everything.
There was 3 parts to it. It said it it said it throughout the movie.
Everything, everyone, all at once.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Okay.
Yeah.
That was fire. But I guess it was going to be a 10 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10, but it was still close to a 10 out of 10.
That's 10.
We're giving. You're saying 10, then it's 10. We going 10. We going 10.
How epic this was.
We should have got more people to talk before we went, but
yeah.
But still, I knew they were going to be too excited.
It's a damn masterpiece. It has a message. It has everything.
Let's go back and get Jennifer on Hindsight.
Huh?
We're going to get Jennifer or Stephanie on Hindsight, whatever her name is.
I think it's too late.
It's never too late.
I mean, we could try.
Oh, we can't walk back that far. I guess we could. I just start screaming like, just run the whole thing like, it doesn't matter. I'll meet more celebrities and put them all on Hindsight.
Yeah, no, it was a masterpiece. I mean, it had everything.
It had
great
everything.
Action, comedy, a great story, great message. Like, it's a perfect. I can't think of a flaw.
Yeah, A24 be snapping. Like, I think that they are on a crazy streak, and like, they're like not an indie studio, but I don't even know how to describe them. They've just been going crazy.
Yeah, no.
I can't believe that was practical too.
Like,
you know it's a hit.
I mean, she even said it. She was like,
"Let's go this way because they're making hella noise."
Got to be a part of it. Shout out to Data, all grown up. I don't even remember his name.
Quan,
Yeah.
Look it up real quick. He actually snapped. He did a great job. Michelle Yeoh did a great job. As usual, honestly, when they said this was the first time she was a lead in a movie, I was like, that's impossible.
I know.
Like, she leads all the movies. Like, who the hell else is... I can't even think of the other actors that be in her movies.
Honestly, yeah.
It was what?
She's always like the secondary character.
Damn, but she's like the standout. That's crazy.
I mean, this was the perfect movie for her, I think. Like, just her talents, her abilities.
We're going on a brief pause.
They're playing us some, I think we're going to get copyright. Dance break.
This guy's snapping.
budget film.
Yeah, it didn't seem low budget at all, and just the practicality of it was beautiful.
God, where do you even start? Just
With the beginning, it all started when the taxes were due.
yeah. It reminded me I should probably do my taxes.
Yeah, me too, actually. There's so many levels to this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my mind is blown, not gonna lie. That was a really good movie. The acting was great.
I have no words.
All right, now let's really get into it. I like the whole multiverse concept. I thought that was genius. I've seen it before, but the way they did it was cool.
At the beginning, because it was like, okay, this could go one of two ways. This could be really goofy and samey, and it was goofy, but in the best way.
And it was samey, but it did it right. It just did everything right.
Yeah, I mean, having seen Swiss Army Man,
I ain't see that shit.
Like, that's their style of like, they just go bonkers with it. They do weird shit. Like, this was a perfect excuse for them to just be like, I can see like them in the fucking, they're chatting, they're like trying to come up with something, or maybe they've had it for a while.
Like noodle fingers or hot dog fingers?
But they're just like, they're high or whatever, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to.
I bet they're not even. That's what's crazy.
And
or
they're
on
just
acid.
coming up with just
Microdosing.
bonkers stuff. Like, what's an excuse that we could just do everything we've ever wanted to do? And I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, it was. It felt like just whatever. What the fuck ever they wanted to do. And it was beautiful.
It wasn't just for nothing. It was
It
all
had like a story to it though. Like,
and
every little weird
like,
world.
It came back in the end. Like, everyone had an arc. Like, everyone had their thing that, caused them to just, not be violent anymore.
And love was the answer at the end of the day. Love was the answer. Love is always the answer.
But it's like there were conflicting points between, the father, her and the daughter, that were all kind of valid in their own way, or like very like you understood.
Yeah,
each of
where
their
everybody was
points.
coming from, and like the generational
Like, nothing
thing,
matters. The nothing matters thing.
Her overcoming her father.
Yeah.
Her loving her daughter,
kindness.
loving her husband, like appreciating her life, period.
Yeah. I think I came in a little bit late, but I think did you see the first scene?
Yeah.
So there was like a decision that she made or something in the first scene that could have altered.
What? Oh, gone the other way?
Like,
I don't know.
putting
She was
the
putting those.
receipt
Yeah,
in,
she
like,
was
a
doing the
different-
receipts, but they didn't. I don't know. I don't feel like.
Is that part of it?
I don't know. I didn't really catch it if it was. There was a whole lot of subtitles I was trying to read and keep up with, and
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of people
Definitely
walking
wanna see it
past.
again. That's like a rewatch.
Yeah, I would definitely see that again. I do have to say though, and this is a
The
sidebar.
comedy
I'm gonna
so
come
good.
back. I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but I'm gonna come back and say, yo, I never really thought it was annoying when people were like cheering in a theater until right then. I was just like, dude, like, I'm trying to watch this movie. Shut up. And they're
I know,
I'm like,
I was
what
like
the
trying to
hell?
listen to,
Yeah, I'm like,
some of
dude,
the
they're trying to like,
dialogue.
shut up. You're not even helping us watch this movie right
I
now.
know, I mean,
But okay.
you were next to like the loudest guy there.
Yeah, jumping back into the movie, it
Let's
was
do a
great.
lap. I like walking and talking.
It was great. We're not going too far.
Parking lot.
All right, I'll hit that. Hell no, it doesn't sound as good. We can't do that. There's too much background noise.
I'll do my best thinking.
Well, you're about to evolve right now in this moment, all right? You're about to connect with the other Hakeems who do their best thinking. Feel the glass breaking. Feel yourself connecting. Do something wild, Hakeem. So yeah, that was one of the dopest parts too, was where they had to do something crazy in order to jump into another universe.
The lipstick, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I knew it was like lipstick. Oh, yeah, that was lipstick. I was like, is that bubble gum? But yeah, that's something crazy that would send you to
like
another.
chapstick or something.
I don't know what it was, but it was something that should not be eaten.
Yeah, I was like, what is this, like a James Bond thing? Like,
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a special gum that he was gonna blow up and it was gonna like blow everybody away. That was crazy. Oh, I loved it.
It's genius. Yeah, it like takes that butterfly effect thing to a whole new level. Like you have to keep on doing something that you never would do in any other reality thus far, and then you make a branch, and then it's. I mean, as sci-fi of a concept, like they really thought a lot about like the intricacies.
Of the world and moving around and everything. But one thing I didn't get was her father. What was going on there? Who was the alpha guy who was like her father? Who was like, you know what I mean?
In the alpha world?
Yeah, it made me feel like it wasn't even really happening. And it was just her, like, in her head, what was happening.
Alpha world?
Yeah, like, remember her father was like the commander-in-chief or something like that.
Yeah,
but it was like...
she died in that world. And, I guess... Because he was there with the husband. And... the husband's role was to like execute, and I don't know specifically. Like, so like what
he was a weird character for me. Like I felt like he made it like it didn't even happen. You know what I mean? Like it didn't happen. It was just what she imagines in her head.
Where did you get that?
Because he was like at the end when he was like the chief master guy, and he's actually trying to kill her and stop her, and then he just stops.
When he's
in the mech, and he's like squeezing her, and then he just stops and everything. And I'm just like, what? And it's like doesn't even make sense. Like, why did he just stop?
Because she was making them ease up by triggering some type of thing, and like I think the scene before, like
that's when she introduced,
yeah.
And that's what made him stop in this other world.
Well, the reasoning for his like. You know, in the fucking conference room was what he. I'm trying to think back.
We just did a motion from the movie. Yeah, in case you didn't know.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, we just got sent into another universe. We just got sent to the janitor closet. That was a dope scene too.
He didn't want the daughter. He wanted her to kill her daughter.
But that wasn't really the dad though. Or that was like the other guy who was inside of it. Like it was just he was the one part. I don't know.
What do you mean there was another guy with him? That was just him from another universe.
That's what I'm saying though. But like I don't know. His character was weird. Who was he? Who was he on the other side?
Does he have the ability? I felt like all the people in the Alpha that were still alive had the ability.
Why was he trying to kill her? You know, he was just like, get her. Why was he always trying to kill her?
I don't think he was trying to
He was. Remember when he had everybody fucking geared up? He was the one who was sending the people to go and attack her. That was him.
Because he knew it was like, it was a false hope to try and stop the daughter from doing what she was gonna do.
All right,
like I don't know. Like I think they all had a similar goal, but like his was like he's so stubborn that he just needed some convincing. Yeah, that didn't bother me that much.
It didn't bother me.
Sure
it was just the only thing that was weird. Yeah, he was just the one character. Like
maybe when we watch it again, we'll find some.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff.
But that was fire. I don't even care. That wasn't enough to like make it weird.
And just like it perfectly balanced between comedy and like action
and drama. And it was like a real ass love story between her,
between the
rock, mother and daughter.
The rocks, like it just went like it feels like the stuff that we talk about sometimes, where we're just like what if this. What if that?
Yeah, and they just did all the what ifs in one.
Yeah. Better than Marvel ever did.
No, you ain't seen the new multiverse movie yet, so you know they might flex. I think there's gonna be a big flex, but that's beside the topic. This was a whole different kind of thing. This wasn't even a Marvel kind of movie. It is kind of
like a Marvel because like she gets superpowers from all her in a way. She gets superpowers from all her
so she's selves. Doctor Strange. Got it. But it was better. Yeah, it was just a different thing. It felt like it wasn't relying on powers necessarily, or more like innate skills. You know what I mean? Combine a bunch of skills and this is what you get, versus nobody was shooting beams out of their eyes, or there was no like sci-fi really elements to it, except for the future and them using that little tool to do their changes. You know what I mean? They had like a Dragon Ball Z scouter they would
It's
tap.
like, yeah, like what if like we all had hot dogs for fingers? Like it's like the realistic progression of like, I mean, it's obviously like.
And I like the branching narratives thing. That was cool too. That was a fun concept.
Oh, like her staying with him versus like all the other.
No, like when it would be like it was easier to jump to a close one, something where just there was a slight variation and you were moving through the realities to get to like a far one. You want to get martial arts when you have to go through all these other ones and then just like all these different branches and then you can reach that point.
Her first jump was like all the way when she was a kid. And, all the different paths. But then it's like how what is really a decision that can like branch? Like, is it as easy as doing a different motion than you would have done? You know, that's like.
No, it had to be something outlandish. It looked like something. The more random it was, the higher the chance. Because I mean, those guys were trying to stick those butt plugs in their butt, like it was guaranteed. Like they were like. I was actually, and see,
well, I don't
even be liking scenes like that, but they did that excellent.
I think it's like
I love that shit.
Something that hadn't been done before in any of the other.
I don't know. They said it, but I just forgot.
Yeah. Well, that makes more sense. It's like.
No, it wasn't something because he said nap. He said you could take a nap. The paper cuts I thought were. Why did he do the paper cuts? Oh, that was so he could transform.
Yeah, and maybe like if he did one less paper cut, I don't know. It
would have been something different. Yeah.
Or maybe he'd done 9 paper cuts, but now he had to do all of his. I don't know.
What was he trying to change into? I can't remember. Like a gymnast? I can't remember what they were saying. What did he?
I don't remember.
He didn't make it. That's what happened. She got to him before, so he didn't even change.
Right.
Yeah.
He was about to do something.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a gymnast. I thought he was like cutting his fingers so that he could have a wider grip or something. I had no idea. And then Jamie Lee Curtis pulled up. Jamie Lee Curtis did a great job. She snapped. I loved her so much in this movie.
Honestly, that was like, it's not like someone you'd think for this type of movie.
She was wonderful, man. And she was just fucking funny and emotions. I felt that.
The moment when I knew this was a great movie was when he told Michelle Yeoh to say, "I love you" to Jamie Lee Curtis. And then there was a scene of them together, and then she like visualized him, and that was like, I feel like that was foreshadowing, maybe not, about just their relationship.
Oh, it's sad as hot dog fingers, or as like
that was
friends?
Well, that was foreshadowing between that reality with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, what about the donut that Jamie Lee Curtis was drawing at the beginning that whole time? Like,
yeah, but also the fact that it's about like it's sort of a love story between the husband and wife character. Like
no question, that was what it was. It was family love.
He feels like he wasn't really loved by her, or like,
and the daughter felt the same way. It was like family love. It was their connection, and then her connection with her father. It was like literally a generational.
Is like a connection.
Yeah, like a family love circle.
Genius, like, oh my god.
And her being like the new generation, and they like actually bridging the gap in the end too. Like it was a good movie, man. I was touched.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to do more random things and just take my trajectory off a little bit.
Yeah, just the whole kindness. I feel like the whole kindness thing could have been corny.
But not at all. It wasn't at all. That was his character too. Yeah. It made sense for who he was in that movie. They did the
work in the movie to establish what
that was his theme. Damn near was kind. He always was like, you know what I mean, trying to protect her. Brought the cookies to Jamie Lee Curtis and shit. Like,
it's almost like if you're too much like that, like you can put off.
This is my way. They already say this is the way that I fight.
But then it's not just like, oh, sappy ending, the end. They show it. They fucking show it. And bravo for doing all the work to just to have the themes be presented, and then also just go all the way by like having each of the characters, that chef, and like using that. Yeah, my guy who had the raccoon, that was so crazy. What the hell? Raccoonui.
He was controlling his head. And then that was like, I don't know, like pulling those strings in his body to make him move like a pup. That was hilarious. And then when she jumped on his shoulders and did it, that just was even funnier. But that raccoon was next level.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It's like,
it was like a branch off, but not so far-fetched. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, okay, like what the hell? But it was still like grounded in reality. And that was like the funniest part of all the alternate realities. Like nothing was so crazy.
They said it. We said it's like what if, but like practical.
Or the pinky, the like flex pinky, or swole pinky.
And that's like that is a callback to martial arts movies. Like that. It's fucking amazing.
Those montages
the weakest
were great.
Finger though.
Yeah, those montages were great.
And the fucking muscles on the.
And like the wind starts blowing when she's hitting people with this finger. That was genius.
And just they went into animation town too, which I knew you were gonna.
That was just for 1 second though.
Yeah,
It was nothing.
Yeah.
But I appreciated the second.
Yeah.
It hit home the verses. You know what I mean? It really hit like there's different. They're saying like anything is possible.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
They really did like so many different backgrounds to that. I mean, they started hitting the repetition. I got it, but
could it
they
be
did
like
a good
too
job.
much? Could it be like? Could some people be turned off because like this is just like too much?
It can make you feel like nothing matters. Honestly, it could send you into the donut unless you get the theme of like love is the only thing that can save you.
I feel like some criticism might be it's just too crowded. It's too convoluted.
I loved it though. I felt like that was the point. Yeah, that was the point. Is that for you to be like, oh yeah, nothing does really matter, but then be like, oh, there are still beautiful things.
Yeah, and then it just, you think it's the end of the movie, and then it pulls like I was like, okay. Well, I was disappointed, but that was the point. I was like,
oh, you thought she was gonna go into the nothing like with her mom, and it was like, oh, they're together. Yeah, I was like, well, she finally understood her.
Well, no, when it was legit before that.
Oh, when she died, it was like the end?
Yeah.
That was great. I knew that was like the end of number one since they said number one, but that was fucking great. Like yes.
A minute. I
was like, okay. No, I knew they weren't going to stop there, but that was wonderful. Holy crap, that was wonderful. The end. Wait, what part was that? Was that what she did? She died, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they cut that.
Directed by
Dan. Yeah, that was good.
They let it sit for like a
fucking
little bit.
Fun.
Yeah.
That was just a fun ride, man, and it didn't stop. I heard somebody in the back with me say that was the shortest long movie I've ever seen. Like that was like 3 hours, and that went by in a second. Literally, I felt like I was just through that movie. That was crazy. No, that was a roller coaster.
I mean, and at that moment with the first fake end, they're like, anything is possible. What the fuck? As this guy
backs into me, just turns into like flowers or something. Balloons. Man, because like even those confetti scenes, like they shot that practically. Like that's awesome.
It's kind of a James Gunn type, but like on another level.
Chill out.
But no, I'm saying like
James Gunn don't do stuff like this. Okay.
Also, it gave me some Jordan Peele vibes, but also to another level.
I don't think Jordan Peele's doing no things like that. He's hot, but he's a mental.
No, I know, but like the
this
themes
was mental,
and the
but
metaphors, like he sort of takes it like
the
that.
Visuals. This had like a
fucking
visual
Get
element.
Out, like
sure, but this
very similar.
This had a very visual element to it. And his are more like suspense thrillers. I don't know. This just had a very visual element to it, and I felt like that was a big part of the storytelling that I really liked.
Yeah.
The colors and like you know what I mean, and moving through all those universes and the way they did that with the cracks and stuff, like that was really fun for me.
With the cracks?
Yeah, like how she would like crack between realities.
Oh,
which
yeah,
would start
like
to like fracture. Yeah,
effect,
that was great. That was fucking great.
Yeah, better than Split, was it?
Split was a whole different thing. I like Split. I like this more than Split actually, but I like how Split did it too. But this was just fun. This was just fun. I don't know. Everything about that movie was really fun.
I feel like there's so many scenes we could reference. Talk about.
Like, and what was her name? Wokutaki? What was the bad girl's name?
Oh, like Junya Tabaki.
Yeah. Juno Tabaki or something like. I don't know, but that was hilarious, and I wasn't feeling her character at first, but she sold me all the way. By the time we're sitting there looking at her in the Q&A, I was I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I had a feeling that's who she was from the beginning, because like, what other character is there?
Oh, you mean when she came up and killed her at the beginning?
Yeah,
no questions. I knew that was gonna be her, because I knew that was the one thing that could complicate the story further, was it being her daughter.
Yeah. And the fact that she didn't realize it initially, is kind of a commentary on the issues there. Because the daughter doesn't feel like she's being seen. And I don't know, that's kind of like an Asian thing too, because she's an immigrant, like her parents are immigrants, but she's raised in American culture, and very obviously she's gay, and there are themes there where it's just a disconnect between your parents, especially if they're from a different era in a different country. I mean, it's universal too. It's
I felt it was universal. It was very universal. Like a millennial generation versus,
but also
your parents versus their parents.
Yeah, put on the top, on top of the fact that they're from a different culture. They got a laundromat.
I need one of those, damn. But that was just, that one family.
And just the idea of
tons of different
she's
universes.
The one because she's not good at anything, and so she's like a blank slate. That whole concept, going back to that.
That was funny.
Genius.
Because you always imagine, but you failed at everything. She said, yo, my business. These are business expenses. And playing piano with the toes, what the hell was that? That was just so crazy.
Again, you never know what to expect. I mean, you can't use your fucking fingers, so you adapt.
Yeah,
that's another message of it, is you adapt to your situation.
Playing the piano with the toes. You adapt
to your situation. You don't just say fuck it, like your daughter wants to.
Play another song for me.
It's also a metaphor for depression and suicide.
For sure. I felt depression in that one. And the suicide, she was going into the donut. Nah, but she wasn't really. It was just in her head. Because she wasn't gonna kill herself in any of the realities. It was symbolic. She was fading away.
Yeah, her identity.
Yeah. She found her. Mom found her, saved her.
So good. If there's a movie that I enjoy more than this year, that'll be pretty impressive, I gotta say.
I agree. Well, honestly, there's only the top two movies are both A24 films, and that's Macbeth and this one.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
That was A24.
Everywhere, all at once.
Bravo.
Okay. Now I can go on to social media, and you can promote it. Tell everybody. Go on Twitter. Go on MySpace. If you still have that in the back. That dude was funny.
Honestly, movies like these, they need to get out there, man.
Well, guess what? Hindsight is here to promote. Because I want to see these films get out there.
Share.
I want to see these films get out there.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I hope to see more movies with Michelle Yeoh as the lead, actually. And I hope to see more of, what was it? It was Stephanie?
Stephanie.
I want to see more of her. And I want to see more of Quan. Okay? I want to see more of all these guys. And I'm excited that we're having an Asian renaissance for me and all my Asian people. Okay? I am excited for this.
How do you feel about the iconic Asian references? And it's this black dude.
Yo, he's a Floku fan right there for sure. But I'm excited.
Ask that question.
I am excited because I am feeling yes, Asian people are making more movies, and they're fun. They've been fucking fun.
Now we need a
Malaysian hero. I'll have to create one. With my genitals, though.
Honestly, are there any Malaysians that are
famous? I don't know.
I mean, Tiger Woods.
Oh yeah, yep, that's one. That's the only one I know. Dang. Anyway, movie was fire. Good Asian family. Hold up. Well, my guy Jonathan
fucking-
Wong. He looked like he was white. How was he Asian?
He said he had Taiwanese parents. Or
Oh,
at
all
least-
right, fine. He was like, just Asian families, how I was raised, how he was. I'm like, what you talking about, boy? Raised out at the street, Santa Monica. Shut up. Asian
never know,
upbringings.
man.
And oh my God, he dropped his phone. And I was just blown away by the fact he didn't pick that up. He just slid it back and was respectful while those guys were talking. There was a moment where he dropped his phone during the QA. Yeah. And he didn't pick it up. He just slid it back. And
I didn't
Stephanie
see
looked
that.
over at him like, oh, you dropped your phone. And he was like, shh, and just let him keep talking and didn't interrupt it and get on. I was just like, man, that was respectful. That was very
That
respectful.
was kind.
That was kind. That was kind. He obviously had been a part of this game.
Kind to the audience. Yeah.
Because they're all friends.
No,
That was great, man. That was great. That made me
Just
feel
like-
good. That made me feel good.
It's all this action and it cuts to 2 rocks. And you're like, where's this going? I mean, that was like the laughs. That I appreciated the laughs at that moment. Or at the really
Yeah, it was like
good
text. It was
moments.
literally like script. And we're just
Yeah.
reading script. And it was like, you were following it though. Like, that was fun. That was just fun and different, man. I just wish more movies would take a risk.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that everyone applauded when he said, like, or was it Stephanie that said, like, we need more original movies?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, some people do want, but I don't know. Is it a little bit hypocritical when most people are going out to see remakes
And the Batman brings out more people than this and it's struggling, Hey, who knows? You're right. Maybe some people do feel like it's all pointless and they just want to keep going to see Marvel blockbusters over over again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to see more different things. As a movie
But
buff,
I
I'd like
get
to see
it
more
too.
things.
Like, if you don't know what a movie, like, you don't want, like, there's so much stuff out there to watch that if you don't know that it's gonna be worth your time.
Yeah, why invest it? But this was a good one. Let me say, if you're wondering if this is worth your time, it is. This is our first 10, I think. This is the first 10 on high. Ding, 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 ding. All the noises are going off right now.
Close, but not for me.
All of the noises are going off right now. This is the first 10. Unanimous
I
10.
kinda
This is a
wish-
unanimous
I kind of wish
10.
we had more people. We had like Jim or something or someone,
And we got the spirit of Hollywood with us right now. We have the
should've-
spirit of
should've
Nicole
gone
Kidman.
with more people. We should have brought more people to see this.
Hey, I don't want to hear this what if, okay? I think this is the best universe. This is
Doesn't
when
need to be
a
the
great
best.
a great idea is going to be
Doesn't need to
formulated
be the
today.
best universe.
Because every universe is the best universe. You must
Make it,
understand.
yeah. You make it that.
Yeah, that was a really good movie, man. That was a really good movie. I enjoyed that. And again, it made me feel good. And movies haven't done that in a while. I haven't
How'd you
felt
feel
good
about
after
the
a
ending,
movie.
the very end,
The very
where they go
end.
back to the taxes 2 weeks later, or a week later? I thought it maybe, I don't know. Maybe I have to watch it one more time to appreciate it. But there was so many highs before that
I
you
liked
think
it.
Maybe
I thought it was just like epilogue. Part 3 was just an epilogue. Because
It's like-
it wasn't a long part like the rest. It was literally like boom,
yeah.
and all at once. This is what it's like. And I feel like it was also saying like, for her, and that again, that's why I was saying it was almost like it was happening all in her head. Because at the end, she was like the same person that she was at the beginning, who was kind of airy and would float off, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was like, did it even really happen, or is it just saying like this is kind of what's going on in her head? This is her imagination floating off all the time.
Yeah, I was confused about that.
But I like that.
Because, like,
it was
I mean, the
open-ended.
conversation with her and her daughter outside of the laundromat, like, she had learned, there was a coming together moment for all of them, and then for her to just sort of, I don't know, like when they were at the tax place and she was just drifting off again. Like, what does that mean? What does that signify? Or is it just a funny moment?
I thought it was just her, because she was hearing all the different hers talking for that second. You know what I mean? It was like maybe she's always hearing that, and she's like schizophrenic or something. You know what I mean? Like a whole different level to it. Like I don't.
So wait,
I
do you
loved it.
have to have that thing in your ear to? Well, because nobody had that. Like maybe it was.
But she evolved past that. She wasn't like, remember what she was going through? She was everybody at once. They weren't using those things anymore. Like how the daughter wasn't using it anymore. Like she had gone beyond. She had fractured her shit and was like already everywhere.
Wait. When all those branches were red, does that mean like
she had assimilated? No, she like assimilated with everything. Like she became one with everything. She was like her daughter. She became one like her daughter. And she was saying, when you become one, nothing matters anymore. But
that's like the egg.
She found that love.
That's like the
love
egg.
Matters. That was better than the egg, bro. Come on, don't even bring in no.
Oh no, I'm just saying like
killed the egg.
Themes of the egg.
But yeah, love was the thing that mattered. At the end of the day, when nothing mattered, love is what mattered. Kindness and love is what mattered. And she brought that to all the people, brought it to her daughter, and that's how she saves it. She was deep.
Yeah. I feel like the daughter and the mom had the same general outlook on life. Like, we don't know, if things matter, things may not matter at all. But how you deal with it is like.
Well, remember
different.
She said that we are the same, but we had the father to help us, or you had somebody special to help you out of it, or whatever she said. But they were literally almost like the same character.
I don't have anyone.
Until they
to balance me out.
Until they blended together into one.
What if you're just like a loner that doesn't have anyone in their life?
Well, then you're going into the donut, dog. You better find somebody before you go into the donut. You don't want to go into the donut. You saw what was in there. That was just pain and suffering. Don't go to the donut.
Who knows?
Don't go to the donut.
You don't know actually what was in the donut.
It looked like death. I will say, I'm pretty certain.
He said
it was despair.
You'll experience things
worse than death. It was. Yeah, I was like, and I thought they were gonna describe that because she's like, hold on, and she's like getting serious, and I'm like, oh yeah, what is worse than death? And then they just go to a whole different topic. She's like, just explain what's happening. I'm like, yo, run back to the death part. You would die a million deaths. Like
a continuous cycle of suffering.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. No, that was so fun. And you know what? It's not often I feel like I see movies that have so few characters that I'm focused on, and I'm really just focused on them. Like usually it's a gigantic cast in all these movies, and we got 150 main antagonists, protagonists.
You can expect what happens when there's a small cast of characters.
But they did a great job with just mixing it up because every character was more than one character.
Yeah.
That was
even the
so
bit
fun.
Characters, like that girl with the dog. Like the small
people
parts.
came back. Everybody came back. Everybody came back. I love
and the
that.
fights. Let's talk about the action. It's just
my guy took a fanny pack and he got it wet and put rocks in it and beat the shit out of those guys. That was great. Michelle Yeoh snapped.
I honestly didn't know Data was gonna be turned out.
I don't know who that is. I don't know why you keep saying that.
You never seen The Goonies?
Oh, he was a little Asian kid?
Yeah, he was the tech guy.
Oh.
Got him through everything. Actually, I think The Goonies, back as a kid, I thought it was the greatest movie ever. I haven't watched it since, but people say it's actually not that great of a movie.
Yeah, I'll let you rewatch that one. Or don't and just keep the fantasy. But yeah, he snapped. He did a great job. Michelle Yeoh showed me. I thought Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was some old special martial arts shit, and she just came with some totally different shit, like Pinky Kung Fu.
Well,
she came with Foot Fu. Chef Fu. She came with sign spinning Fu. Literally, she flipped the whole game on its head. That was great.
What scenarios can we come up with?
Where can we improve martial arts? Where can we add another layer to martial arts? That was so much fun, man. They just snapped. They snapped. And her little master who was doing in the montages, that was fun for me too. It felt like Kill Bill-ish. But also just Crouching Tiger vibes too. That was just fucking fun, man. That was just fun.
And even her master that she was taught by came back at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone came back.
And even the husband and all his different characters, Quan's different characters were all just as fun too. Movie star Michelle Yeoh's husband, he's quit playing games with my heart. Smoking that cigarette. That was just fucking fun.
I thought you were poor. I thought and then he's like,
I got lucky.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. And the one who was the one who died from the Alpha universe. Like, he was a fun character too, just popping in, popping out.
He was my favorite.
Like, that was great. That was so great.
Great job.
So great. And I'm wondering, like, what happened to the rest of them? Like, why did everybody else suck so much? Why was he the only one from the Alphaverse who could, like, jump in and really do some shit? Like, there was all those other guys in the control room not
like
doing shit.
The white lady.
Yeah, I'm like, what are y'all even in there for? Or at least be outside with guns fighting, like, do something. They're just sitting there, like, on computers doing nothing.
So, did what's her name? I forget the evil girl's persona name.
Jukubanduku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she came to the Alpha world and, like, killed everyone?
Yeah, remember? She popped up, they were, like, driving, and then she appeared, and she got him. She was in the green.
But I feel like there was a period where they were all still alive in the real world, or maybe that was just some editing.
What do you mean? You mean when they were going back and forth and he was like dying, but he was still telling her, like, I'm glad I got to spend the time.
Yeah.
I feel like he was like fractured between two worlds or something. Or maybe he was talking to the urn. I don't even know what the hell was going on there either. I'll be honest. That part was weird for me too. Because he was like, he was obviously holding the urn and seeing her come to kill him. And he's also talking to Michelle Yeoh at the same time. And he didn't have his thing on, it didn't look like. So, yeah, I was curious about that. But, you know, whatever. Movie magic.
Small little.
She was fracturing on multiple levels, so maybe it was her actually connecting. Like, who knows? Anything can happen. Everything can happen all at once, okay?
I want the Everything All at Once movie, like, you know, franchise.
Oh, definitely. I need a second one where the daughter does some dope shit, too. She looked like she had lost some weight since they filmed that movie, so I was thinking that maybe she'd be on some crazy martial arts shit now. After she was inspired by her master. Like, that lady looked inspiring to me. She's getting ready for the sequel.
Yeah, no, Stephanie looked really good in person.
I'm not gonna lie, she
better
really
than...
did. Holy crap. Yeah, I was like, whoa. When I saw her over there, I was like, that's the same girl from this movie? Jesus. That's the fame started kicking in. She was looking right. Wow, that's how I noticed her right away. And we were walking out and I saw her. I was like, oh, that's her. She must be Cambodian, I will say. She was chocolate Asian. Before we get too deep into this kind of stuff, all right, we're going back to the movie where we turn hindsight into a different kind of thing. But yeah, that was great. Good movie. All right, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Go see this movie.
11 out of 10.
This is an indie movie. I'll even say 11 out of 10. That was great. That was great. Dang, I might even do it. I might not, but that was a really good movie. That was a really good movie. Yeah, just vocally we're saying we would give it an 11 out of 10 if hindsight's scale could be broken, but the algorithm is too strong.
Turn it to 11.
That was wonderful. That was such a fun movie. Again, that just made me feel good. It made me feel good. And going through there, like, man,
real shit, real problems. Yeah.
Like, my family was just going through that with my niece. That's what's crazy. And I'm just like, wow, this just kind of hit home for me.
Going through what?
Like, we'll talk about this after. We'll get into that after the hindsight. But 11 out of 10, man. Go see this movie, please. They need the help. They need the help, okay? Promote this film.
Yeah, when we do our end of the year list, this is 100%.
This was a wonderful movie. And we out.
See that?
Oh, yeah, and we got to meet the stars. I don't know if we talked about that at all, but we did the Q&A afterwards. That was great. It's going to be in this hindsight. Maybe it's going to come after this. Fun. Maybe it already played and you already heard it. But
Quan is very great. I mean, he's as cool as you think.
Yeah, he was that guy. They were all cool. Nice, they were all very cool.
I wish Michelle Yeoh was there.
Me too, but I didn't expect that. I kind of did, but at the same time, I was like,
she would have been there.
But she had COVID. Yeah, that's crazy.
Allegedly.
She was just everywhere, everything, everyone, everywhere, all at once. You know what I'm saying? No, that was fun though. All right, go see it. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Great.
Should be on that poster, not West Side Story.
Check it out. Everything, everywhere, all at once. 11 out of 10. Great movie. And we out.
Person in 3 years, can you imagine? Could Soundbite have gotten a better film to open the festival? So thank you so much for being here on opening night here at the Grove. I would love to welcome for this conversation right now, producer Jonathan Wong. And please welcome actors Stephanie Shu. And welcome back, Quan. Well, I'm going to start with you, Jonathan.
Please.
The Daniels, the screenplay, how the heck did this come about?
That's an easy question. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do a quick video for Michelle Yeoh because she wants to be here so badly, but sadly she got COVID. Don't worry, we're all making it. Yeah. I'm just going to have you guys all on the count of 3 say, "Feel better, Michelle." Ready? 1, 2. So the script, Daniels are the kind of creative directors that they like to have something subversive, like you can tell, that will kind of get them excited about it. So they're like, if we have an idea that will be really dumb to trigger somebody into a launching pad of the universe, it will be so fun. So the idea they first thought was like, what if Trinity from The Matrix stole an ice cream cone from a kid, threw up on it, and then was like, and then disappeared. And they're like, okay, this is a great idea. Let's start around that. And I was like, okay, sure. But really what it was is when they realized they could take a family that is very familiar to our families and Quan's family and say, let's explode that out and make them into superheroes. And they're like, now we got something really great here.
So Stephanie, when you read the screenplay, how many times did you have to read the screenplay?
It's so, am I, 1, 2, check, mic, am I loud?
Hang on.
Hello? Oh, that is.
There you go.
Okay, so we'll share. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's funny when people ask that because I had the pleasure of meeting the Daniels before we shot this film on a show called Nora from Queens. I played a character named Shushu, which is my last name twice, but it was all weird and kismet and witchy. And I fell in love with them immediately. I was like, who are these freaks of nature that I just want to work with forever and ever? I followed them out to LA, not knowing about this project, and within a week of me, like, I'm gonna go to Los Angeles. They called me, they're like, hey, we're working on this film, like no pressure, but we think you'd be really great for it. And I had no idea Michelle Yeoh was attached. I had no real concept of what A24 was. I was just like, anything you guys do, I will be there. So when I read the script, the dildos, the butt plugs, I was like, yeah, these are my friends. It was like, funny, haha. But what was actually so clear to me was the story of this family and the heartbeat of the soul of this metaphysical existentialist question of like, is this life that we have chosen enough? And I grew up like loving Eternal Sunshine. I love metaphysical movies and journal a lot, and so I just, I had never read anything like it. And it wasn't as confusing as it might have seemed. Like it was really on the page. And that's a huge testament to the Daniels.
Absolutely. This is their first movie after Swiss Army Man. So Key, the question is, what made you say, I'm getting back into acting?
Well, I always wanted to do it. But when I started it, I was very lucky to be in Indiana Jones and the Goonies. Thank you. But if I'm being honest, it was, for a long period of time, it was difficult to be an Asian actor working in Hollywood. So when those opportunities dried up, I had no choice to step away. And I just started working behind the camera because I love this business so much. I love making movies. I love all facets of everything that goes into creating a story and putting everything together. And I was content doing that until really 2018 when a little movie called Place of Occasions came out. And I saw like all of you, but while I was watching it, I cried for different reasons. I cried because it was such a powerful story, and seeing so many Asian faces up on the screen really meant a lot to me. But I also cried because I had serious FOMO. And I really wish that I was up there with my fellow Asian actors. And it was really until then that I decided that I wanted to do this again. I wanted to give myself this chance, and I wanted to try, to see if I can do it again and be doing it. So I called an Asian friend of mine and asked him to represent me, and literally 2 weeks later, I got a call about this amazing project.
Wow.
It's never, really never in a million years that I think I would get this opportunity. So that's why sitting here talking to you and seeing all of you in the movie theater, I am overwhelmed with emotions, especially the opening of our movie. I'm still asking myself, how did I get here? Why am I here? It's just, I'm asking myself a lot of questions that I don't have answers for, but I just want to say thank you so much. It means so much to all of us.
Yeah,
So thank you.
And I gotta say, so I see like 350 movies a year, and I'm taking notes while I'm watching the film at South by Southwest. And the word that I wrote down in my notes was revelation. Your performance, you are absolutely back. Bravo. You in a role that you've never done before. And not only seeing you step in a role that you have never done before, but we are seeing Michelle Yeoh in a role that she has never done before because she is the lead in this movie. How is it time for Michelle to take the lead in this film?
Is this working now?
Yes.
Behind that question that people have asked is like this kind of sad reality is that like representation is a hard thing in our country, and she's been #1 on every movie she's been in, but she's just not been credited as such because she's a powerhouse. She's a force. She's the queen, So to us, when we were, when Daniels were writing it, it was just so obvious that like there's really only one person who can play this role, and it's Michelle. And for me, I was like, okay, well, who's the backup? And I'm like, there is no backup. It's only Michelle Yeoh. Like that's all it can be. So the answer is just that we had to like pray that she would say yes, and luckily she did. And there's a really beautiful moment that happened when we were in South by where she, it was a private conversation, so I don't want to betray any confidence, but she was so moved by the fact that she got to be the person that she knew she could be, but never was given the opportunity for it. And so it was really powerful for us to just have this moment that, oh my God, like it's really cool that we got to do this together.
And what was it like, Steph, for you to work with Michelle? Because she was doing literally a multiplayer performance, because it's a multiverse character and so many different versions for all of you, really. So what was it like working with the great Michelle Yeoh?
Well, she is a legend, and honestly, there are legends out there that also like suck, as humans. But I can just so confidently say that Michelle is like not only an extraordinary performer, but she is like the most generous, loving person ever. And it was just, she brought that to her every single day of work, and she completely surrendered to the process. And she not only trusted like the Daniels, but I feel so grateful because she really also trusted me. And I'm like, I didn't even realize this until we did our first press round circle, like over Zoom, and none of the boys were there. And I was like, wait, have I always been the youngest person in this cast? This is crazy. even when I was swinging dildos at her, or having that scene in the laundry. Well, it's like a thing. It's a thing. Like, or even the scene in the parking lot, like, she completely trusted me as a scene partner and, like, was there for me, and she could have had so much ego or been like, who are you? But she was right there with me, and I feel so lucky that I get to say that I worked alongside Michelle Yeoh, and I'm still learning from her daily. So yeah, she's amazing.
So Key, you said you were watching Crazy Rich Asians, which Michelle was in, and now you are working with her in this film. So 2 parts to this question is, A, what was that like? And B, what was it like for you to not only make your return to acting, but in such a wildly ambitious film like this?
Well, first, I don't know if any of you know this, Michelle Yeoh did her first movie in 1984. And that was the same year that I did my first movie. But we only did it in different parts of the world. And I mean, honestly, I waited 38 years to, unite with her on screen, and finally that dream came true. And it was just amazing working with her. I mean, like Steph said, with Jonathan, I mean, really, it doesn't get any better than that. And I don't think there's anybody that can lead this family better than she did. And for me to return to this, to have this as my comeback movie. Wow. Wow. I'm so grateful to the Daniels for really giving me this opportunity, and also to Jonathan, our producer, because I mean, we had a really small budget and a very tight schedule. And we had the best crew working alongside again, with legends and with Stephanie. Not only did we work really hard, but at the same time, we all had amazing time filming it. It was really like a family. And everybody was just came to set with just kind of like this, the message of this movie. There were no egos. Everybody was very kind to one another. We all loved and respect each other. And honestly, I think one of the best things that I gained from this movie, not only at being my comeback movie, but also the friendship that I have with each and every one of them. And that is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
Well, I think everyone in this theater is going to cherish this moment because it is the opening night of this movie, and for you to share that with us. So thank you so much for that. And I would like to open it up to the audience, but before I do, I want to ask one quick question about, there's this great meta moment when we see Michelle Yeoh on the red carpet, at the premieres, and at the award shows, and she's at the premiere of Crazy Rich Asians. Like, how wild are the Daniels? These guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because, like he's saying, it's like this is our family. So it's like, I think that oftentimes that we put people on pedestals, or literally we're sitting in tall chairs. But the opposite is what we try to do on set, that like there's no one's more important than anyone else. So like we run a flat set, so EAs are just as important as Michelle Yeoh. And so yeah, they're awesome and I love them to death, and they're ungodly talented. Like it's crazy how smart and fun and amazing they are. But if they were here, we're just all friends, and I think that that's a testament to this movie. It's felt on the screen, and that's just who they are.
So you have a question, right? Wait, hang on. You're in the front row, so you can get the mic.
Well, for both of you, Michelle Yeoh obviously has a huge history as an action star, but neither of you probably have anything like that. But you had doing a lot of fighting and stuff. How much training time did you have, and how much did you have to do with that? And then just a quick question for Kate. In the scene when you're with Michelle after the movie premiere, you're talking, were you channeling, going along in one car ride with me?
You should just take both of these questions.
Well, first, I had the pleasure of working for One Car Ride for many years in Hong Kong. And what's really interesting is, during that entire time, I was behind the camera, watching Tony Leung in his suit, just telling her Joe back and doing this thing. And so when I got this role and I walked on that movie star universe, and to do it in front of the camera, it was really surreal. But what's also really amazing was we were able to pay homage to, you know, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. And martial arts, when it comes to martial arts, I did train for many years, and I had the pleasure of working with an acting director named Corey Yuan. So we've done that also. But this one was completely different, and we did train. And I think it was really incredible. Stephanie, you've never done it before, but you look badass.
I did do a little bit of training for this. Li Jing, who's amazing, she's actually the woman who is the Kung Fu master in the movie that like teaches Michelle Yeoh that her pinkies are swole. And before we started filming, I had like a few lessons with her. And it was amazing because, you know, in the movie she says like, pinkies are Kung Fu, a cookie is Kung Fu, and like that was what I was learning. So even though I didn't have a legendary fanny pack scene, it was amazing to get to do this training because I think it actually helped us all embody the spirit of strength and certainly the spirit of what it means to be like a nihilistic force that is fearless.
Yeah. And one little like trivia factoid that most people don't know about, but I remember so specifically being with Daniel and Daniel Quan so excited as like in prep, and he's like, come here, watch this video. And he shows me this video of this like young, good-looking kid doing like kung fu flips in the desert, grabbing dirt, throwing it in someone's eyes and doing kicks. And it was key, but I didn't recognize him. And they're like, this is Ada from the Goonies. You don't even know this part. And I remember seeing it and I was like, what? He's still doing this? I'm like, no, like, he's much older now, but he's trained. And I was like, well, is he acting? And so I went on to like a database that we used in film. And then I saw, oh, he's got an agent. But that the timing of that really was so crazy that if he didn't have the agent, I thought, maybe he doesn't act anymore, and then it doesn't work out.
Again, this is, I mean, that's what, you know, one of the great premise of the movie is that, you know, it poses the question of what if, you know, had you chosen a different path, you know, what would your life be like? And I mean, honestly, when I decided to get back into acting, like I said, literally 2 weeks I got this call, but had I not decided, and just, you know, give up and go do something else, I mean, you know, I would have missed this amazing opportunity with this amazing role. So yeah, it's quite remarkable.
Was South by Southwest the first time you saw the film?
No, so I had seen it twice. I saw it once in a screening room with my best friend, and then I saw it again with like a bunch of suits, you know? So it wasn't as fun. But I will say that, like, I mean, South by was maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's just been, it's crazy. It's been like a crazy roller coaster, and we've been saying, like, in interviews and stuff, the missing, like, we love this project, we've always loved this project, we loved making it, we knew that it was so special, but the missing piece was, what are strangers gonna think, what are audiences, what are people we don't even know gonna think? And South by was so crazy, and it really has set off this roller coaster of like, to make something original is a Herculean task in this current moment of how movies are made. And for something to be as wild and non-linear and crazy and like exhausting but exhilarating as this, and for people to like really get it, is just remarkable. And we feel so lucky to be sharing this right now.
Did you get it?
Give it to you. It's very easy to write here.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna try. Do I have to stand up? Should I just-
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna try to power through this as quick as I can. This movie feels like such a love letter to Asian filmmaking and Asian art, and from down to the casting, the stunt choreography, everything feels so intentional in this movie. At what point, getting signed on, did you realize like, oh wow, like this is kind of this is kind of monumental.
Great question.
Well, I guess I'll jump in because I was the one who was on first.
Yeah, that's for anyone who feels like.
Thank you. But I think that we're in a moment right now where it's very special and awesome to be Asian. And it's a very weird thing to feel that way. But you know, as we're all children of immigrants here, and it's a very surreal thing. And people ask us like, well, when did you decide to write it as an Asian story? And it just was. There was never that decision. You know, Daniel Quan's parents are from Taiwan. My father's from Taiwan. The movie's dedicated to my dad. And it's just in the fiber of our beings. And so to tell this story, it's not particularly special for us to tell the story because it's organic to us, but I think it's special for the world to see that, yeah, of course, all these incredible people, it's the same question you asked, is like putting Michelle Yeoh as number one on Call Sheet. How did that happen? Well, how is it not happening for the last 100 years, you know? So for me, it never was a question of, is this a representational thing? Is this something that is like identity? It just was the life force of this movie, and there is no movie without it being unapologetically Chinese, unapologetically Asian.
When I read this script, I knew it was something really special. I got it. It was brilliantly written, very poetic. But you know, when you do a movie, you don't really know, how it turns out. Especially given our tight shooting schedule and a lot of stuff. But what I can say, maybe some of you in this room would appreciate this, because when I first started, I would walk on a set and everything was practical. And over the last 30-something years, the technology of CGI has advanced tremendously, but yet the Daniels and Jonathan chose to do this movie the old-fashioned way. So we shot everything practical. I think with 1 or 2 days green screen, and that was mostly in Tobago and stuff. So for me to walk on a set and see this, for example, I mean, one of my favorite practical effects was when Stephanie, her character Joy, and Michelle Zeppelin were sitting on the sofa, and they stick into, that was practical. When I saw that, I go, oh my God, that is fucking brilliant.
Do you want to describe what practical means, maybe, if people don't know what practical is? Or like what you mean by the couch was real?
Meaning that, we do it on the set. There was no CGI enhancement. There was no camera trick. I mean, it was literally the sofa lower itself, and then they kind of sucked in. And I saw that, I was like, wow, that was really creative.
The CG we did though was to make Keith look less handsome. He was so ungodly attractive.
Okay, one more question, one more. Okay, you, hang on, here.
Nice
Look at that shirt.
Two very brief questions. But before the question, thank you for representing Asian Nation, Asian American, any other families that are kind of quirky and cool, but you know they got potential. That's what this movie is all about. Thank you very much. The two brief questions. One, what was it like working with Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, you guys together, all that? What was it like working with legend James Hong? And the second question, when this is all said and done, can you sign our big googly eyes? Thank you very much.
I have a good James Hong story. You know those guys. I know, we've been hanging out a lot. It's really fun. Okay, one favorite James Hong story. There's so many. Okay, first of all, he loves acting. He loves Hollywood. He's done over 500 movies. He is 93 years old. And he comes from a camp of he always brings ideas to the table. He's always making a choice. So there's this one scene where we're in, is it like the office? It's called, the conference room before the sign fight, and it's also, there's a BDSM closet.
The CEO.
I'm sorry. Okay. The CEO office, and there was like a really intense, I wasn't in a scene, and there was a like intense scene that was happening between Waymond and Evelyn, where they're like, what's going on? Da, da, da. And the frame was he and Michelle, and James Hong was like right sandwiched in between them, sitting in his wheelchair. He had no lines. And he kept doing this thing where he just figured out that his wheelchair would spin in slow circles. So while they were having this really intense scene, he was like, like on and on and on and on. So the point where at a certain point, both he and Michelle were like, hey, Daniels, it's gotta stop. We're like trying to act, but not from a place of malice, but just mostly like, I shared that story to say that James Hong is just, he has so much joy for this craft and making stories and telling, being funny and silly.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome and humbling to be around him because he's the OG, like actually.
No, I mean, what's incredible, I mean, like Steph said, after 70 years in the business, his passion for this craft, for this profession, is still burning, you know, bright and strong. I got another great story. He's always, at the end of the day, we're dressing room neighbors, and I would see him march out of his dressing room at the end of the day, swinging his arms up and down like a soldier, singing opera, and projecting his voice so loud as if he was in a theater. And everybody in the IRS building can hear him. And he was singing all the way, and you can hear his voice kind of fading away into the parking lot. And I mean, that's James Hong for you. I mean, he's a legend.
Wait, one last one. Is that he would always give us gifts of like pictures of himself that he would sign. Mine said it was a picture of him from Big Trouble Little China, and the note was, Stephanie, I will drink your blood.
James Hong is the hardest working guy in Hollywood. He's 93 now, right? 93? Yeah. He gave me his business card for the first 3 days. He was like, I'm like, hey, you're hired. I'm the producer. You're hired. But that's just his MO. But he is getting, finally, after 93 years, he's getting his Hollywood star. So, please come out, support him. Took a lot of campaigning, and to your question, again, it's the representation of Asian Americans. Buying that for 93 years, from being in Chinatown, from being in Seinfeld, Big Trouble in Little China, like every movie we've ever made in the world, you know, finally it's just that was James Hong.
So two requests. One, if you just stay seated while we exit. But the bigger request is this. So now that Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is a movie that definitely lives up to its title, is out. So how do you spread the word about movies these days? Of course, you go on social media. So go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Facebook. You in the back, if you're still using MySpace, that's totally fine. Spread the word about Everything Everywhere All at Once. People see it in theaters. Thank you so much.
Just sit down and everybody just starts running.
You gotta, cause he's getting his food guys. He said there's people in the back are trying to escape.
Oh, you the girl from the chair earlier. All right, bet. Escape where?
I mean, they're not making it right though.
Oh, she's our special guest. What did you think about the movie?
Amazing. Are you doing a podcast? What's
Yup.
happening? Yup.
Yeah. Seriously.
It was great. I read the script a couple years ago before the pandemic, and I think it resonates even more now.
Did you read the script?
Because I work in the business.
Oh.
From Hollywood.
Oh.
I know people. I don't know shit. Have a good night.